Hey everybody, Coach Dan here, welcoming you to the Chicago Marathon training journey. This is week one. Every Friday, I send out a long run video with tips and tricks and a way to approach and think about your long run, things to look out for. So today is no different. Today's just the first one. A little note about today's agenda. I want to talk about what's going on with this weekend's run for those of you who are just looking for that info. And then I'll go into a longer discussion about the training plans. So hang tight. Let's talk about the long run assignments this week. You're going to hear me say this a lot, but the important thing with this weekend's long runs, the beginner plan, 6 miles, and the intermediate plans, 10 miles, is to just be where you are. So if you have more capacity than that, great. I'm really proud of you. Hold that capacity because we will go and summon it as we go. But right now the assignment is 6 miles for the beginners, 10 miles for the intermediates. What's the difference between maybe you went those distances last week, maybe you went further. The difference now is the mindset, the purpose you're bringing to it. So this is week one of your Chicago Marathon training journey. And whether you're nervous, whether it's further than you've ever gone, whether it's a little bit less than what you've done recently, it doesn't really matter. It's the intentionality of bringing yourself to this run and understanding that it's a long journey. And just be where you are. That's the most important part. Don't worry about what's coming up if you've never run the marathon before. My favorite part about training athletes for the marathon is to see them go from very nervous to very powerful in just 5 months. And that's going to be your experience. I am certain of it. But the key is not to wonder what it's like, how you're going to run 20 miles easily or 20 miles confidently. It's never easy. 20 miles confidently in, 4 months or so. The way you get there is by doing what you need to do right now, not worrying too much about that. So that's the assignment. What's the pace? The pace is just get out there and do those miles, start at a pace that you know you can confidently start at, and then finish at or better than that pace. Doesn't need to be better, but it could be. The point is not to just start the run and then drop off because you can't hang with your own pace that you set. The point is to start the run, stay steady, or crank it up a little bit, just a little bit. That subtle little crank is all we're looking for. So that's that. Don't overthink it. Get it done. Bring a new mentality to this run. It's training run or long run number one of Chicago Marathon training. For those of you who are just looking for that info and don't want an intro to the training generally, thanks for watching. We'll catch you later. For those of you looking for more info about the plans and all that, let's get into it. Okay, so like I said, this is week one of Chicago Marathon training. The Bank of America Chicago Marathon in its current iteration dates back to 1977, just a little older than me. And before that, the city of Chicago did have a rich history of marathons being run by athletic clubs. 1905 through the 20s, saw all kinds of marathon races. And I don't know why there was a little pause, but there was a pause. And now it's back. And as many of you know, it's a legendarily fast course, home to many PRs by everyday athletes, but it's also the world record course set last year by Calvin Kiptum, set a few years back for the women's side, since broken. But it's been the world record course many times over. It is flat, it is fast, it is in October, so often the weather's pretty good. Has been lately, so hopefully you get one of those legendary years to make your own memorable peak performance. In any case, it's a grand tour of an incredible American city. You head north, you head west, you head south, starting at the center, ending at the center. It's really just a uniquely fun and powerful marathon experience. It's always an honor to guide the athletes through this and see them around mile 21. And it's just an epic race. So I'm super excited for you guys to experience it if you haven't. And if you have, you know what you're getting into. That's why you're back. And as with every marathon, it's an opportunity to learn about yourself and summon everything you are. And my job is just to help take where you are and help you make smart decisions. But you are the center of this training plan, not me. I'm just a guy based in Boston, pops over to Chicago sometimes, and I send out spreadsheets and emails. That's not training. That's just a little bit of guidance. You are the center and you need to be your own best training advocate. And like I said about this weekend's long run, be where you are and let the training unfold. The answers come. So just be confidently where you are and learn as we go is I think the most important part. But let's just talk about logistics and all the stuff that I do send out. So hopefully you got your first email from me. That includes the beginner and intermediate marathon training documents. Those are our foundational training texts. You'll get an email from me every Friday with a video like this, usually shorter, and every Sunday with an email that just provides some context around how you should be feeling, what the approach can be, maybe something I saw in the news or something we did before that I liked. So emails from me every Sunday and every Friday. Fridays will have this video. You have digital services at heartbreak.run, ab routines, easy ab, well, neither of them are easy. A gentler ab workout, a harder ab workout, a yoga class, how to do strides, how to warm up before a speed workout. All of that stuff can be found at heartbreak.run. You can just search our website and you'll find them. They're all on the blog. You also have, you can find me in the NRC app, the Nike Plus Run Club app. Go check that out. I have 4 guided runs there that are excellent ways to work your way, learn your way through a speed workout. Pop in your headphones and I'll be right there. Send you through the workout. If you're a more advanced athlete, you can do them twice back to back if you need more time. All right. In addition to the digital services, you've got long runs and speed runs in Boston and Chicago. Both cities, Newton in the Boston area and Chicago, the Saturday long runs are mapped to our plans. So every week, both routes are mapped to the plan if you're a beginner or an intermediate athlete. So you don't even need to look at the plan if you just show up. That's a benefit of being in Boston or Chicago area and having a Heartbreak home base there. So we're hoping to bring you more Heartbreak home bases, but right now it's those 2 cities, and take advantage of the service because I think one of the best things about running in a group is that the group helps you rise. I know I feel it when I run in a group, and I see it with all of the athletes. You go farther and I think more joyfully and more easily when there's a group involved. So take advantage of those opportunities when they present themselves. Okay, Heartbreakers and nonprofit partners, you also have access to Coach Live Q&A, my weekly office hours style meeting here over Zoom. Every week you can post in our private Heartbreaker forum and post a question and I'll answer it there. And then I post the video. So you don't actually need to be there. You can post a question at your leisure, or you can show up for the Zoom and chat with me directly. If the timing works, just always keep an eye on the timing. Sometimes I have to move it around, but that's a benefit for Heartbreaker members and nonprofit partners. That group also gets a discount at heartbreak.run. If you're a Heartbreaker, it's for life. And if you're a nonprofit partner, it's for the training period. Okay. Now let's talk about the plans themselves, the beginner plan and the intermediate plan. So they're both 19 weeks long. The beginner plan peaks with 120 miler and the intermediate plan has 320 milers. If you're new to this, the way we train for a run or the way that we train the long run portion of marathon training is we go up for a few weeks and then come back down for what I call a recovery week. So that way you can gather strength, you can stave off any injuries. We're trying to build in the ebbs and flows of training. With that down week, you gather strength, and then we push it back up for a couple of weeks, and then we bring it back down. So we're trying to build in the ebbs and flows that are naturally a part of training. Also, if you imagine, if we just trained you going longer to the marathon, which is sometimes what people think happens, you'd just be going for the longest, hardest run of your life every week. That is a daunting way to train, and that's not how we do it. So please make sure that you're following along with the plan and with those ebbs and flows. The beginner plan has a speed workout a week, roughly. Some it's 2, some it's 1. Speed workouts, you do not need to be an expert at speed. You can pop in those NRC runs. Those are great substitutes for whatever is on the plan. The point is more about variety of work, and I'll get to that in a minute. Most of your runs are easy runs. Most of your long runs for the beginner plan are in the just run it comfortably zone. We're not trying to target a pace until way later. So don't worry about the pace, just get it done so that we have an understanding as we build your capacity as to what your pace might be down the road. We do not need to know marathon pace right now. We just need to get you strong, balanced, feeling good. Okay, intermediates. Your plan has 3 20-milers, each with a distinct purpose. And therefore, in order to have a down week between each of those 20-milers, you can imagine that's 5 weeks then, right? 20-miler down week, 20-miler down week, 20-miler, and then taper. We need to get you ramped up a lot quicker since we only have 19 weeks. So the intermediate plan starts much more aggressively. If you are looking at the intermediate plan, you should be running 10 miles as your long run very comfortably right now at the start, and be running probably 4+ days a week, or have some other maybe advanced athletic history. And there's a lot of work done at the 16-mile distance, working on pace and workouts over long runs. It's a much more aggressive plan, but it'll get you fit and ready to maybe hit a BQ or a PR, if that's what you're looking for. So if you've run the marathon 50 times, and you're looking for the most gentle way to finish well, comfortably, and strong, the beginner plan might be the best for you. It's not necessarily based on anything other than what you're trying to get out of this race, what balances your personal athletic goals and capacity, and that's that. So use your body and your history as your guide in selecting a plan. There is not, I have a joke in the plan about being an IKEA chair. You know, we're not IKEA chairs. As many athletes as there are training for the marathon, there are that many ways to train. So, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's got a different schedule, and our best protection is listening to what's going on with our body. So keep that in mind. You can blend the plans. I get that question a lot. Can I do the intermediate weekdays and the beginner long runs? Yes, they're just ways to map out your long run trajectory. They're just, for me, I look at them as outlines or guiding principles, the plans. They're not these rigid prescriptions. They're just an outline of how to apply best practices to your running to inform what you're doing, and that's it. And I'm here to help guide that process. Okay. Outside of whether you're following my plans, some other plans, I do believe there are 4 keys to success in training for the marathon. So those are consistency, variation, listening to your body, and your team. So let's talk about them. So first one, consistency. You got to be consistent. You've got to keep that training ball rolling. So most of us training for the marathon are adults. We have adult responsibilities, whether that's children, family, work, all of the above. You're always being pulled different places. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's on vacation, sometimes it's work travel, sometimes it's just exorbitant amounts of work. We've got a hot planet right now, so it's going to be a lot of heat you're battling too. So there are going to be opportunities for you to not get your running in, or you could say, the plan says 6, I only have time for 1.5 miles at best. Can I do that? Should I do that? I think I'll just skip. And as your coach, I'm here to say, don't skip. Get it done. Do something. You know, if you end up in a troubled week where you can't see a way to squeeze in the runs as you wish, but there could be an opportunity to do 2 miles every other day. 2 miles every other day is a vast difference from no days of running in a week. It's a huge difference, and it'll help you feel fresh. It'll make sure you're not losing fitness. So do what you can. You know, I'm a big advocate of on the work travel, getting in some jumping jacks, bodyweight squats, push-ups, all that kind of stuff, even if it's just 10 minutes in a hotel room. It's powerful. So understand that you're asking your body to do a lot in the marathon. So it's going to take some creativity and commitment and consistency in those training days, in those trouble times, help you really double down on those big opportunities when you need to summon more because you didn't let it go. So just do what you can. Every day, do what you can. It doesn't always need to be on plan, doesn't need to be perfect, but try to protect that training rhythm, those workout days, whatever they are for you. If it's 3 days during the week and 1 long run, try to protect them as best you can. Be flexible, but protective. All right, variation. They say variety is the spice of life. And I think about watching the NBA finals right now as a Bostonian, and Just like in basketball, there are a whole variety of skills that make an athlete a powerful basketball player. You know, you have to be able to block out, you have to be able to rebound, shoot the J, you have to be able to drive into the lane, dribble, pass, shoot free throws, play D. There's a whole host of skills that go into being a good basketball player. Running is no different. Being a marathoner is no different. You need to run fast. You need to run easy. You need to be flexible. You need to have a strong core. All of those things will come into play in your marathon. And we work them in little bits so that when the day comes, all of those pieces are together and you are a fully formed and powerful marathoner. We need to run fast to build power, speed, and efficiency. It also makes the longer, shorter, or longer, easier paces feel easier because you're working hard and learning about managing your strain and stress while also building your aerobic capacity, speed, and power when you're running fast. And we want to work flexibility so that you can express your power in the most efficient way. We want to work core strength so that you can stay nice and tall and again express that power right through from your body to the ground efficiently. You know, when we're leaning over or hunched over, you're not getting the most out of your body. So we work long because we're training for the marathon. It's a long race, and we go easy because we need to recover from all these hard things and also just build our cardiovascular engine. So we do a lot of easy running. So variety is really important. Try to hold those days. Again, you can be creative if you have a speed workout on the agenda, but you can't get it done, you don't have time, you can maybe just do a short, easy run and some strides. So that way you just feel snappy. If you're wondering, what are strides, Coach Dan? Just go to heartbreak.run, search the blog, the heartbeat, and say, what are strides? It's there. It's actually linked in the emails for training. That's that. Okay. Listen to your body. Key to success number 3. So in order to complete the life dream of finishing the Chicago Marathon, we need to start the Chicago Marathon healthy. So it's really important that you listen to your body. Again, flexibility is key. Something comes up on the run and it hurts and it gets worse as you run. That's a giant flashing red light to stop and go seek professional care. You can email your running coach and your running coach is going to say, go seek professional care. I can tell you now, I can tell you then, not worried about it. But as with any medical issue, the key to success is early intervention. It is no different for marathoners. We're just people with bodies. The body has all kinds of things that pop up. And when we're pushing it to its limits, you're going to find out what those things are. And there are 2 elements of that. Early intervention, seek a professional who can provide acute treatment to the area and understand why it's happening and allow you to make these smart adjustments. There's lots of time in a marathon training block. And once you find something and address it, it usually goes away faster than you would have expected. It's not all doom and gloom, although it feels that way at the moment. Another note is if you feel something coming on the run and you're stiff at the start, it hurts, and then it loosens up and you feel good by the end. And that's how it is. Maybe that's not as flashing a red light, but something's a little off and we want to get that addressed too. So be very flexible with your plan. Training takes many different forms. I provided you with a running training, but often it needs to be switched over to the bike and the elliptical and the pool. So make sure that if something comes up, you back off from the running, figure out what it is, and continue to train. Training looks a lot of different ways, especially once you're injured. It means maybe you're switching around. I have a mental block when it comes to doing like stationary machines. So I can do maybe 10, 15 minutes on the max. So I just move around on all of them for 10, 15 minutes, and then I'll jog on the treadmill for like 5 minutes at the end if I'm trying to stave something off. That way my body feels tired. I feel like I worked for a long time when I'm running, but I only ran 5 minutes, and then I'll give myself a little stretch. And that's one way that I would bridge some pain, you know. So when something does come up and you feel it and say something starts to bother you at mile 5, don't go running 5 miles every day until it hurts. You should be running 3 or 4. So that way it never hurts, and building your capacity there as you're seeking treatment and then filling in with other cardio. You can do any of the workouts on cardio machines. It's all about just your heart doesn't know what you're doing. It just knows you're working. So you can do any of those workouts that are in the plan. There's a little outline on the first page of the beginner and intermediate plan about how to hybrid train, how to translate 400s or anything like any distance into time so that you can do it on the elliptical or the bike or in the pool aqua jogging. So be smart, listen to your body, go get help if you need it. Okay. Tip number 4, key to success number 4, your team. All right. So what's your team? Many of you are training for nonprofits, and to be able to represent a world-class nonprofit like the Red Cross, for instance, or Home Base, there's an incredible power to being able to represent organizations and do good work for people in need, and interweave that in your marathon journey. We all know a marathon journey, well, if you don't know, you're gonna know, is hard. Running the marathon is a metaphor for hard things. So you're going to need to lean on a lot of life experience and people. So in an individual sport like running, team means a lot of different things. It can mean your family, the people who enable this body of work that you're putting in, the people who are protecting your sleep, helping you feed yourself. For those of you nonprofit athletes, your donors, your parents, yourself. Often people are going through a life transition when they discover the marathon, whether that's a relationship or something else hard, a big birthday. There's a lot to honor in yourself and a lot to dig into and remind yourself of. And think about all the people who got you here, who support this journey and support you as you go through it. So I'm just one of those people who's really excited to see you do this. I'm on your team, and I'm really excited to coach you for the 2024 Bank of America Chicago Marathon. So you'll be hearing from me every week. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.